So you get told all the time in band to simplify your music, but it's not always clear exactly how to do it. So today I'm going to help you try to figure out a few ways to simplify your music, and we're going to use this alto saxophone part for Inferno, and I'm going to read it in an F, so for those of you saxophones who want to follow along, sorry, but here it is on the screen, and it's meant to be pretty fast. I haven't looked at this before, but here we go. Ah. Okay, so you can see it's pretty difficult and it's repetitive. So if we go, that was starting in 150, but if we go on, you can see at 170 there's some faster stuff. Okay, so it's quite difficult. It goes quite high in there. Yeah, the first thing you can do is just play absurdly so. You can get a lot better doing just that. So let's say our target tempo is around 160. Quite fast. I bet I can't do it. Yeah, I start to fall apart pretty quickly after that. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hitch between that C and D on beat 3 and beat 4. We're going to split this into two halves. The first half is going to be going crazy slow, and you know how to do that. That's set the metronome at some absurd tempo, like 40, and just work it out nice and slowly. If you play it well once, knock it up 1 beat per minute. If you play it bad, knock it down 2 beats a minute. Go until you have it. What we're talking about in this video are how to simplify your music for when you don't have enough time to do that, it's just beyond your abilities, or you're running into some hitches with that technique and you want to work some stuff out. So the first thing I do is keep the tempo that I want to go and only work on the first beats of every bar. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you're not feeling good at all about doing something like this, maybe it's you're jumping into the band at the last minute and you have to do it, this is a really effective technique to just get the stuff right down right then. That technique is really great for starting to feel the time. You'd be shocked how many times players play things badly because they're just simply late to start. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to play the first 2 notes of every bar. 1, 2. So once you've done that, what you can do is you can add another series of beats, perhaps the first note of the 16th notes. With the same pattern, you can do the first 3 notes of every bar. 1, 2. And then you're pretty much there. If you want to switch it up a little bit, you can start adding bits of the 32nd note. So let's just do the first beat. Let's just do the first note of every bar, followed by the first 32nd note. Easy enough. Now you can add the second one. Easy enough there. You can also just do the 16th notes themselves. 1, 2. If that's not quite under your fingers, you can slow down the 16th notes even while keeping this tempo. Okay, so once you've got the 16th notes under your belt, you can add perhaps the second note after you've landed on the 16th notes. Like that. Once you've done all this, you can probably go back to the tempo you were working on earlier, and you've probably worked out whatever was sticking you. Mine, if you remember correctly, was sticking between the C in the second bar, sticking between the C and the beginning of the 16th notes. How can I work on that? I can just do beat 2 and beat 3. Listen. 1, 2, 3. So that's where I started to trip up a little bit, and you can do is you can slow it down, again keeping the same speed. Okay, in the 6 minutes that I've been doing this, let's take a look and see if I can play it. So you see, the issue is still at that C. So where I'd do now is I'd get really small and just work on that. Add one note. Now add one more note. You can always add music here. I feel like adding music kind of helps break up the monotony of the practice, but it also helps you add fun little things. Maybe we'll do a little crescendo in the 16th note. Add the accent. So now, let's see if I got it. So that's a lot better in just the 10 minutes that I've started making this video. So now let's take a look at 170, okay? So what I'm seeing here is, don't even have to practice the first 5 notes. Easy, right? I do see an issue of getting from F to F. So you can see that's a little unclean immediately. And that's pretty much worked. If you have to do something more, you can do some up and downs or go slow. If I was in my ensemble and I didn't feel like I could play that jump clearly, I would just take the and of one out. Listen to this. Right? We'd be right there. Okay? So now, let's say we're having a hard time with this run. Again, you can practice this in the same way that I suggested. You can add one note at a time. Listen to me do that now. Take a break every once in a while. Now that I've done that, you can also go slow. Or if that's too slow. Okay? Or failing that, we can switch to simplifications. Remember, we were doing the first beat of every bar. Here we go. 171, 1, 2. Okay, not so bad. That's actually a little tricky, but let's go to the first note of, let's go to 1 and 3. Like that, assuming we had the C. Now you can add the first beat of every bar. You can just do the eighth notes. You can do any kind of combination of this, just play the notes that you have on time. Let me come up with a few different combinations right now. Okay, so you can do that, and you can do the first 2 notes of every 16th note. This can get a little difficult as you're starting to look at all of the notes that are happening, but this can be done with clever part writing, or if you're really putting in the practice time, you'll eventually learn to just start seeing it. If you can play some of this, but you start to get bogged down, just take breaks during it. Take a listen to this. Boom, you've really helped your ensemble by just playing a little bit and being able to get things done. So imagine you have a great relationship with the person sitting next to you. What you can do is say, hey, I'm going to play the first bit, you play the second bit. And then what you have is you play. And then your partner plays. And then you go. And then boom, together you've played this whole thing, and you can work out the time really well. And then you won't be playing late or frantic or hurried, because again, what happens when you're playing in a hurry is you end up getting behind, you end up getting muddy, and that's what makes ensembles not sound very good. And to demonstrate that, I'll try to play this at full speed, not having practiced it very much. Exactly. So there we are. That's how you simplify your music just a little bit to make your life a little easier and to help your ensemble still play well even when you're not quite there to play these parts perfectly. And besides, most pieces will have parts in it that are very accessible for you to play. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.